So here is my first owner impression video of my 2023 Range Rover SE with the inline 6. And I've got 807 miles on it right now, so I've had a chance to drive it. I've had it just under 2 weeks to get an impression of what it's like. So overall, I love it. The driving experience is fantastic. It's very engaging to drive. So it drives like a Range Rover, and if you've ever driven one, you can picture that. But it takes it up a notch too. I think that's partly because of the rear wheel steering that it has. It just also feels, I don't know, like a step up. I can't really explain it. The handling is a little bit better. The steering feel is really nice. It's just overall very pleasant to drive. Handles well. The drivetrain is very well sorted. No issues with shifting or whatever. It really does a good job. I've maybe had one or two slightly harsh shifts or slightly slow down shifts, but really nothing significant. It's just been really good all over. Now, the voice control, I do have a few nits with it. It's got a few quality issues. I've made some other videos, mainly for the dealer, to show some of the rattles and stuff. My rear dash cam was put in upside down, so they're gonna have to address that. Just little stupid stuff, nothing that really affects the usability of the car or reliability of the car. Just little, it's just not put together extremely well, like body panel gaps, rattles. I don't know if I'll be able to show it here because this is a pretty twisty highway, but the steering wheel is cocked a little bit to the side when you're going straight. Yeah, all stuff that can be addressed. Again, nothing really major. Very quiet on the highway. I've heard of other people reporting excessive wind noise on the highway. I do not have that issue. I've also heard of people reporting issues with the alignment of the tailgate. I also don't have that issue here. Maybe I'm going straight. You can see that's a little cockeyed. Yeah, that's really hard to catch on a road like this. The seat has a lot of adjustments. It's very soft. It's soft and firm at the same time, soft and compliant. It can be a little tricky to find a comfortable position. Sometimes when seats give you too many options for the position adjustment, it can be a little bit tricky. And so that, yeah, I was basically able to find a comfortable position. It's not 100%. You know, it's funny how my Nissan Versa had perfect seats from day one, and there really wasn't any choice to adjust it. But I've been able to average 30 plus miles per gallon on the highway, driving like 72. It seems maybe slightly underpowered. You can see I did an acceleration video, 0 to 60. I mean, it's adequate, but it's not like, I think it was advertised to do 5.5 seconds 0 to 60, and I think my best was 7 seconds. Now, however, that being said, I don't ever do a proper launch. I just basically peg the pedal and go, which probably adds like a second or second and a half to the 0 to 60 time. I never do the brake torque or anything like that. I just don't think that's good for the transmission. So yeah, overall, it's just very pleasant to drive, very engaging to drive, and with it being an all-new body, I think, well, I have to keep it 9 months, but I don't think that it is going to cost me anything to own, regardless of how many miles I put on it, which is really cool. I've talked about that concept in other cars that I've owned, most notably the G63. This car does have lane keep assist, active steering, and it's okay. It's probably the second best I've ever driven. The best was actually in my 2019 Honda Civic. That one was just fantastic. This one does okay. It doesn't really bounce you in between the lanes per se. Actually, let me activate that so it kind of shows you in the screen. Now I'm gonna take my hands off. So I mean, it's kind of bouncing a little bit. It's not bad, and I think you have so many seconds before it complains at you. And then I found if I touch it with 2 fingers for a couple seconds. Now here it makes me a little nervous when I'm going around a turn like this, because it seems like it's not gonna quite get there, but it always does. But it does seem to favor the right a little bit, a little bit that makes me a little nervous for that. It will not automatically change lanes like a BMW that I drove before, so it doesn't have that level of control. And the one time it gets really confused is when there is an exit ramp. See, I'm just going to touch that with 2 fingers and then it comes back on. So when there's an exit ramp, sometimes it wants to follow the far right line and take you off the exit, like it doesn't understand that you're on a highway and you're not exiting. So I don't love the feature. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and turn it off. Now the radar cruise portion of that is really good. Even when you come to a stop, you don't have to do anything for it to resume. Like if you come to a stop in traffic, it'll automatically take off once the car starts moving in front of you. However, a word of caution: if you're driving along and there's stopped traffic ahead of you, it does not recognize that. So you can't be expecting it to stop automatically. Now maybe it would kick in the collision prevention, but you know, I was like not far from a car and still going like 40 miles an hour, and I realized, yeah, it's not gonna stop. So I manually took over. So that's something to note. The ride, the suspension quality is really nice. It's very smooth. It does a really good job, and also it takes the turns pretty well. I mean, it is still pretty ponderous at times. You can see to the right of the 73 there, the extra green thing, that means it sees somebody in front of me and it's getting ready to slow down. So that does not light up when there's just completely stopped traffic in front of you. It has to be within a certain range of the same speed you're going before it will actually see anything. So I wonder if the power also might open up a bit as it gets more miles on it. It is possible that it's programmed to limit the boost when you're under, it says there's like a 2,000 mile break-in period in the owner's manual. I've never seen such a long break-in period, but alas, there it is. I pretty much started driving it flat out. Not from day one, but I'd say about 250 miles. Then I started opening it up a little bit. I think that's maybe had 350 miles on it when I did my acceleration video. But yeah, overall, it's a fantastic car. Actually, it just seems like it will be reliable long term. You know, I think again the fit and finish issues definitely need to be addressed. Now this is interesting. It's going to be interesting to see if it picks up on the fact that we're slowing down for a construction zone here. I'm looking to the right of this 73. Yeah, it does see it. Let's see if it's smart enough. Yeah, it's doing okay. It's slowing me down. It's beeping at me, but it did all that on its own. It does make me a little bit nervous, but it did work. Got a few beeps going on there. Yeah, so it's not the most trustworthy and reliable system in the world, but yeah, I guess within certain limits it's okay. Well, let's see what else. I don't think there's a whole lot else to say other than yeah, if you can swing one of these, especially for sticker or even a slight discount like I got, it won't cost you a dime to own it. In fact, I might even be putting in an order for a 24 because I have a feeling that one won't cost me anything to own either. Alright, well, those are my initial impressions. If anybody has any specific questions, post them in the comments. I am happy to answer.